A very warm welcome. A very warm welcome to one and all on the day 2 of the Chaturmas program, the last and the concluding month. I wish it never ended, but then that's how good things do come to an end. Happy to see some new and some old faces too. I am Ekta, your host for this 4 days awesome webinar organized by AYG Academy. Before we begin, let me make some small housekeeping announcements, please. Kindly be mindful to keep the mic always on mute. It has been observed in the past that there was some disturbance because of unmuting in between. Please keep the cameras on as far as possible. It would be great to talk to people. Any questions or add-ons will definitely be taken in the end. So please consider and ask in the end to maintain the decorum of the forum. And let us all now settle and start with the prayers. We'll just chant Om 3 times. So let's condition ourselves to be in the moment. Let us all settle. Roll the shoulders. Push the shoulders down. Make a nice namaste at the chest, center of the chest, which is our spiritual center. And breathe in, breathe out. Be aware of your rhythmic cycle of the breath. Inhale and exhale deeply. And now let us start the chants. Inhale. Feel the vibrations of the chants and rub the palms very, very well. Generate a lot of heat. Place the warm palms on your eyes and slowly open the eyes gradually. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to this amazing program. So we will start with not only just talking about what AYG stands for. It is Ayurveda, Yoga and Garv Sanskar. We will thank wholeheartedly on behalf of everyone for selflessly organizing these Chaturmas programs, to Dr. Nutan as well for her relentless efforts in bringing the best output for all of us. AYG Academy's mission is to reform lives of millions of people through educating, nurturing, and counseling. AYG Academy's modus operandi is touching hearts and lives by providing various sought after live and pre-recorded courses like prenatal, postnatal, and Garb Sanskar TTC, Ayurveda anatomy and physiology, practical Ayurveda in daily life, etc., etc. The list goes on. Well, now let's move on to the focal point of why we are all here today. A very famous quote by a wise person says, "Give me a child and I shall shape him or her into anything." Well, any guesses of who could have said that? Which profession? Definitely a psychologist. And it gives me a great joy to announce we have amidst us today's guest speaker, who is a very famous psychiatrist too. He's none other than renowned Dr. Avinash D'Souza. Dr. Avinash D'Souza is a consultant psychiatrist and a psychotherapist with a private practice in Mumbai, India. He has been in practice for over 2 decades and has a wide range of experience in the management of various psychiatric disorders. He has also been a psychotherapist that combines both psychiatric treatments and psychotherapeutic treatments. He's also the president of the Bombay Psychiatrist Society. He's also the founder trustee of D'Souza Foundation, a trust set up in the name of his late parents, who were both pioneers in the field of mental health and psychiatry in the city of Mumbai. This trust works in the area of mental health awareness, so this runs in the blood, across all the sectors, and regularly conducts workshops and seminars related to the same. So mental health awareness is definitely something that we all wish to know more about. Dr. Avinash will be speaking on the topic, understanding child psychology. Well, the smile came because it's easy to decode the Da Vinci Code rather than understanding child psychology. I'm sure all the parents here will reverberate with the same thought. So thank you, Dr. Avinash, for picking up this intricate, complex topic for us. But before we begin, the talk for today by Sir would request Dr. Nutan to speak a few words. We all know Dr. Nutan, our lovely Dr. Nutan, very well. We've been students or not, but we know her name, of course. So just to brief, she's also the founder of AYG Academy, an author of the book, The Ultimate Guide to Garb Sanskar, and also the recipient of multiple prestigious awards in the field of Ayurveda, Yoga, and Garb Sanskar. So over to you, Nutan ma'am.
Thank you, Ekta, for lovely your announcement and all the information. And I think, yes, you're right. Dr. Avinash D'Souza is the main person today. So I do not want to take much time of all of you and directly offer this whole platform to Dr. Avinash, sir. And glad to see you, sir. Thank you for your time. And I think most of our audience might be knowing you. You are a well-known person, and every day in Times of India, Hindustan Times, or whatever the paper, renowned papers are there in Mumbai or internationally, you are well-known person in psychiatric field. I must say that sir has published more than 300 publications in national and international journals. And he's, other than psychiatrist, he is MBA also. So there are very few people. So I think let's take the benefit and welcome sir on this new platform, online AYG Academy platform.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for having me here. The topic that I have to speak on is understanding child psychology. And uh, over the years, more than probably last 25 years that I have worked with children and adolescents, I have learned a few things about children, which I will share with you all today. And these are more take home points. There is no book that is going to teach you child psychology. It's only when you work with children and you become a parent and you will understand child psychology better. First point that I want to convey, and I have probably 10 or 15 points that I want to convey today. The first point is that every child is different, every child is unique, every child is totally his own. हर बच्चा अलग है, हर बच्चे की खासियतें अलग है, हर बच्चे की सोच अलग है. We have to understand that aspect. And many a times what happens is that as parents we tend to compare children. We tend to look at other children and feel, oh, that boy is doing so much, that girl is doing so much, my son or my daughter isn't doing so much. And what's very important to realize is your child is going to be a reflection of you. So the kind of traits you have, जो आपकी परछाई है, वही आपके बच्चे में दिखेगी. So the kind of traits you have, the kind of personality you have is what you're going to probably see in your child. What's very important is you can't expect your child to be like someone else's child, because the child is not going to have that personality. So that's a very important first point, that every child is different. The second point about child psychology is that every child can be molded, treated, changed, disciplined with love. You don't have to be necessarily harsh. You don't necessarily have to be strict. You don't necessarily have to be rude with um, children. So what's very, very important is that we have to understand that children can be spoken to. What happens very often is that parents do not speak to their children enough. They do not talk to their children enough. They do not understand their children enough. And there's a lot of shouting that happens. तो काफी काफी माँ बाप जो है बच्चों के साथ समय नहीं बिताते, उसके साथ बात नहीं करते, उनको क्या चाहिए क्या नहीं चाहिए ये समझने की क्षमता नहीं रखते, और फिर बच्चों की गलतियों पे बच्चे को चिल्ला देते हैं. कोई भी बच्चा प्यार से सुन सकता है अगर आप में थोड़ा संयम हो. इफ यू हैव सम पेशेंस, every child will listen, every child will pay attention, and no child is not ready to be spoken to and not ready to be heard. All he needs is a right person to speak to him. I will share some of my personal experiences in between. Okay. When I was in the 8th standard in my own school, I was a rather introvert child who used to not talk too much to many people, and I was shy. And one of my teachers felt that by forcibly make me participate in an elocution, they would probably help me open up, and they would probably help me speak, and they'd probably help me become this extrovert person. So I was enrolled into a school elocution without my own permission, and I was told that you have to prepare this poem and you have to come and say it in front of the whole school on this day. I remember I was very scared, and I went on stage and I couldn't remember anything, and I just came back crying. What I remember very vividly about my parents is that I came home, I was very upset, and they obviously could sense that I was upset. And I told them that the whole school is going to be, telling me that we lost that elocution prize because you couldn't speak the poem, and I am not going to go to school from tomorrow, and I'm not going to do anything. And I remember my father telling me, no, you will go to school from tomorrow. He came with me. He met the principal. He told me, you're going to come inside when I'm talking to the principal. And he told the principal that if my son is shy, if my son is introvert, if my son is the type who doesn't want to talk on stage, you all have no business to interfere with his personality. Let him be that way. He's not troubling the class. He's not a bad student. He's not, So when we as parents don't have a problem in accepting him the way he is, why do you all want to change his personality? And the principal said, no, we just want to help him. And I remember a week after that, my father told me that don't worry, over time you will get extrovert, you will speak, you will give lectures, people will listen, don't worry. And that did happen very naturally. I didn't even realize when it happened, and it happened. So very often parents know their children very well. I always tell parents that don't try to change your child, accept him the way he is. अपने बच्चों को बदलने की कोशिश मत कीजिए. अपने आपके बच्चे जैसे हैं उन्हें वैसे ही रहने दीजिए. This is very important. Third point that I want to convey is we have to allow children to express themselves. बच्चों को अपनी भावनाएं, इच्छाएं, शब्द, मन की बात व्यक्त करने दीजिए. It's very important that you allow children to express themselves. Now, very often, whenever a child tries to speak, he's told to keep quiet. I always say in India, we spend the first 10 years of our life teaching children all the languages possible. And then the next 10 years, we tell them to shut up. That's what invariably happens. So in the first 10 years, you'll teach him, ye padho, ye bolo. And then when he's 11, 12, 13, and he starts back answering you, tell him, now you shut up, don't say anything to me. So this is what invariably happens. So even, I don't know, somehow I've seen children love to, show to others, how much their child knows. So if a particular guest comes to your house, you'll say, beta, uncle ko poem sunao. But why? I mean, it's not needed. I always say, no, why do you want him to, teach a poem? It's not necessary. And then if the child doesn't say the poem, the parents will say, no, he knows the full poem by heart. He's just little shy and he's not trying to, I don't see any reason for you to, as long as he's speaking to you and telling you, that's more important. That neighboring uncle is not even interested in the poem, but still he listened to the poem and say, very good, though he's actually not interested. But the thing is, you want to show that my child knows. Your child knows for you. He doesn't have to know for the world. That is something which is important. But allow your child to express himself. One of the things I always tell parents is, tell your child that if you're angry, if you're upset, if you're hurt, if you're sad, in our house, we sit down and talk about it. We don't shout, we don't get aggressive, we don't get violent, we don't get abusive. अगर आपके मन में निराशा है, उदासी है, चिंता है, फिक्र है, डर है, गुस्सा है, तो बैठ के बात कीजिए इसके बारे में. Talk about it openly. We will listen to you and we will not judge you. हम आपकी बात सुनेंगे और हम आपको कोई भी प्रकार से आपको हम जज नहीं करेंगे, because हम आपके पेरेंट्स हैं. If we feel you're wrong, we'll tell you. If we feel you're not correct, we'll tell you. If we feel we have another view, we'll tell you. But we respect your view and you'll have to respect our view. And we'll see how we can reach midway. So open communication with children is very, very important. Ask. Allow them to ask what they want. Allow them to say what they want. It's very, very important. When my son was in the 5th standard, he came to me home one day and told me that we have a particular teacher who doesn't teach very well in the class. And I'm seriously thinking about going and talking to my principal about it. I said, are all your friends talking about it? So he said, they are, but they don't have the courage to go and talk to the principal. So do you think I should go and talk to the principal? And he was in the 5th standard. And he said, do you think madam would shout at me? Madam would get upset with me. So I said, think about how you want to talk to her, what you want to say. Don't go there and fumble. Practice a bit. Tell her, I want to meet you. And after the assembly in the morning, he told the principal, I want to meet you for 2 minutes. And the principal said, of course, come. And he told her, we have this teacher. She's not a bad teacher. She's a very nice person. But, we have some issues with her teaching, that she's very fast and she's, and I'm not complaining about her, but I just want you to probably, look into this. The principal was very impressed and she said that, I'll definitely look into it. And the teacher's teaching methods changed and the students were happy. The teacher didn't know that my son spoke or who spoke, but the fact, my principal told me, the fact that he could come up and speak about it is very important. So it's important that we speak about, we allow children to express themselves. Next point, please tell your children that you love them. Tell them that every day. आपके बच्चों को ये बताना जरूरी कि आप उनसे प्यार करते हो. The standard conversations that parents and children have on a day-to-day basis is खाना खाया, दांत घसा, आप नहाए, बैग बना दिया कल के लिए, होमवर्क किया, ट्यूशन में क्या पढ़ाया, स्कूल में क्या पढ़ाया. These are the 7 or 8 major conversations that parents have. You never ask your child, आपका दिन कैसा रहा आज स्कूल में? आपने कुछ नया सीखा क्या? कोई नए दोस्त बने क्या? आपके दोस्तों ने क्या जोक बताया? नहीं, you don't ask him about those things. You don't know who his friends are half the time. You don't know who his best friend is. You don't know where his friends stay. You don't know what he likes, what he's seeing on his gadget. You don't tell him that you love him. Even when a child gets 9 out of 10 in a test, the first thing a parent asks him is, where did he lose 1 mark? The next thing the parent asks him is, how many got 10 out of 10? And they often tell him that, you were probably careless. That's why you lost that 1 mark. But they never appreciate the fact that he got 9 out of 10. It's something which is very important. And I always tell parents that you have to appreciate the fact that, he got 9 out of 10. It doesn't happen. Appreciate your children. Even if their drawing is hopeless, tell them it's the best drawing in the world. It's very important. Even if, their music is hopeless, tell them it's the best. They sing very well. Don't undermine them, or don't, I always remember today parents want children to do everything. They want them to play chess, they want them to learn music, they want them to read, they want them to do everything, but children don't do all that. It's not possible. I had a parent who came and told me, I enrolled him in a tabla class. In 2 months, he said, I don't like tabla. Then I put him in a guitar class. In 2 months, he said, I don't like guitar. So I said, there's nothing wrong in that. He's experimenting. He's bound to see what he likes and he doesn't like. And after 3 music classes, he said, I don't want to do music only. I'll play football. Okay, that's his choice. I mean, as a parent, you can't get fed up. Children have to learn to experiment. Very often parents decide, nahi, nahi, ye to guitar seekhega. Arey bhai, ask the child whether he wants to learn guitar. Parents don't ask. Just because they've seen some other child perform well on a guitar, they want their child to play the guitar. So please give your children choices. Tell your children you love them. Very important. Next point, talk to your children about food. The most common arguments parents and children have is about food. So talk to children about food. Ask them what they want to eat. I've had many parents who ask the child, aapko kya khana hai? The child will say, ye khana hai. And they say, nahi, lekin aaj to ye bana hai. Then why are you asking? Don't ask. Tell him that he has to eat this, Or sit in the morning for 5 minutes and ask him what he wants to have for lunch and dinner. Simple. Make what he wants. The problem is solved. There's no argument. There's no fighting. But there's so much of argument happening primarily because you don't ask the child what he wants. Even when your child makes a mistake, a very common wrong statement that parents make, mujhe malum tha ye aise hone wala hai. If you knew it, why you didn't tell him in the beginning? Why did you wait for him to get upset, make a mistake, cry, and then tell him he's wrong? You should have voiced your opinion. You can have an opinion which is different from your child. You can have an opinion which, is wrong. It's fine. Very importantly, learn to apologize to your children if they go wrong, which many parents don't do. Children love sincere parents. Children don't love parents who are hypocrites. So you can always tell your child, that day I came back from office, my boss shouted at me. I was a little upset. So that anger came out on you and I'm very sorry. The child will understand. Many people believe that, no, the child is my right. I can shout. I can do what I want. No, don't do that. Very important facet of child psychology. Never ever hit a child. When you hit a child, you bruise him physically, mentally, and emotionally. When you hit a child, you make him feel unloved. You have a right to shout at your child if you feel what he's done is wrong. You have a right to tell him you're upset. You have a right to tell him you're disappointed. You don't have to get physically aggressive. It's the wrong Indian notion. Maar khayega to sikhega. It's the wrong Indian notion. No. You have to be a parent that can control your child by your words and by what you say. You don't have to control him with your hands and no, not at all. Not necessary at all. Physical punishment is not needed in child psychology at all. I'm very happy schools don't have physical punishment anymore and they can't do it because of the government rules, but parents do it. And I think it's wrong. It's mortally wrong. And I've had a lot of parents who tell me, he irritated me so much that he forced me to do it. And I always tell them, many a times your spouse, your boss, your friend irritates you. Do you ever go and slap him? No, you don't. But just because a child is easily available for you to slap, you end up slapping him. Don't do that. Talk to your child about everything. Another principle of child psychology. Talk to your child about everything. Emotions, mental health, love, relationships, sexuality, drugs, society, politics. Talk about everything to your child and let him have an opinion about everything. It's important. Teach him about current affairs. Teach him about what's happening in India. Teach him about what's happening abroad. Let him have an opinion about things. It's very important. Just knowing 5 reasons why the British invaded India is not important. He has to know about current affairs, what's happening in our country. Does he have an opinion about COVID? Yes, it's very important. What does he feel about COVID? What does he feel about a pandemic? These are things which are important. Learning the geography of the Tundra region is not important. Learning which 3 cities grow rice and which 3 cities grow crops are not important. No, don't force him to mug all that up. It's important that you have to develop him into a very good person. Child psychology. Children are different. Again, I'll give you a personal example. In my class, we had 2 twins, Amit and Sumit. They were twins. Amit was very good in studies and Sumit didn't like to study. Sumit never wrote when the teacher was teaching. And he would tell the teacher, I'll go home and I'll copy from Amit's book. I don't feel like writing right now. And Amit would do very well because Amit would finish his homework. He would finish Sumit's homework also. And he would, teach Sumit after that. So Amit's knowledge was triple, than all of us. Everything he would revise thrice. Every answer he would write twice because he would write it for Sumit's book also. And what happened was that Sumit would help Amit in all the art, craft, and other projects, which studious children couldn't do. So that is what used to happen. It so happened that, well, Amit used to come in the first 2-3 students of the class. Sumit would pass. Sumit was intelligent. He would pass, but never reach high marks. And even on the open day, I remember teachers used to compare, देखो तुम्हारा एक बेटा कैसा है, दूसरा बेटा कैसा है. And the mother, Sumit's mother, Amit's mother would say, I love both of them. It's fine. It doesn't matter to me. I have not asked Amit to study. He's studying on his own. Neither have I asked Sumit to study. He's not studying. It's fine. Many years later today, of course, both of them are, Sumit is here, Amit is abroad. Amit is a plastic surgeon. He's become a doctor because obviously he studied. And Sumit has become a chef because Sumit was not so studious. So he became a chef. And he's a chef in Oberoi Hotel. So he's not that he's in some less position. Amit's wife is a geography teacher. Okay, so she's not supposedly a doctor. Sumit's wife is a dentist. So, and very often when we meet, I told Sumit, how come you married an intelligent dentist? He said, someone has to teach my children. So I had to marry someone intelligent. He said, otherwise they will turn out like me. And when I ask Amit, how do you have a geography teacher as a wife? And he says, it brings balance to me. It's good. 2 doctors will cause all sorts of chaos. So he said, it's good that, we have. The thing is, what I'm trying to tell parents here is that children find their own way in life. They will become something or the other, irrespective of. If your child fails in an exam, don't worry about it. All of us have failed in some exam in school. No one asks us today, why you failed in geography in the 9th standard, why you failed in maths in the 7th standard. No one asks us. We have all got 0 at some point of time in school. No one asks us why we've got 0 today. Today we are all doing something in life. We all are married, we all are settled, we all are doing something with our lives. It's not that we're doing nothing. No one really asks us. It doesn't matter. So we have to realize that children have to be left free. Let them do what they want, how they want. It's very important. Another important aspect is the parents of a child in child psychology have to be on the same page. It's very important. The mother and the father have to think alike. They cannot think different. They cannot think separate. They have to think alike. It's very important. They have to know that they have to be together for the child. Do not ever make your child feel he's unwanted. Don't ever tell your child कि आप तो कोई काम के नहीं हो. Don't ever make your child feel unwanted. I'll give you another example from my school. We had a boy who was not good in academics. In the first terminal exam, he got 35 out of 100 in the maths paper. 35 was just passing. His father came for the open day, and his father was a restaurant owner. So on his birthday, we would go to his restaurant and eat free because that was what his father used to arrange for us. So the teacher told him, आपके बेटे को तो सिर्फ 35 मिला है 100 में से. The father said, मैडम मुझे तो 20 भी नहीं मिला कभी लाइफ में. कम से कम ये पास तो हो रहा है. That was the attitude of the father. What I'm trying to convey here is that parents, sometimes have to respect their children and what they are. He told the teacher, he said, no one in my family is intelligent. I can't expect my child to become a doctor or an engineer. I know his limitations. It's absolutely fine. Let him study, let him pass, let him do. Don't pressurize him. And today the child is doing very well. He's my classmate. He's doing very well in life. There's no problem at all. But the thing is, we tend to, want to do this. Another thing about child psychology, teach your children to share. It's very important. Teach them that you have to share. Teach them that you have to sort of share with people. You have to discuss with people. Teach your child to talk to everyone. Tell him to talk to the servant. Tell him to talk to the kamwali. Tell him to talk to the watchman. Tell him to talk to the driver. Tell him to talk to the teacher so that he learns about different things. Teach your child about different things in life. I always tell schools, that you should take children once to a slum and show them how other children are living so that they understand the luxuries they have. Take them for a picnic. Yes, take them to the slum once and show them that this is how other children are living. Take them to an orphanage. Show them how other children are less privileged. Let them learn that the world is unequal at times. This is something which is very important. Another two things which I want to share is that do not neglect your child's mental health. That's very important in child psychology. A lot of people think, oh, I can't take my child to a psychiatrist. Take him to a psychologist, someone who will talk to the child. Your child's mental health is far more important than their grades. I have a lot of parents, sir, कैसे भी terminal exam हो जाने दीजिए, बाद में हम help लेंगे. नहीं, take help now. Miss the terminal exam if you have to. It's okay. Your child's mental health is more important than their grades. Your child can have a problem. He can be upset. He can be depressed. He can be sad. Seek help. Don't hesitate to seek help. If you don't want to go to a psychiatrist, don't go. Go to a psychologist. Go to a counselor. Seek help. It's very important that you seek help. It's also very important that your child has to have faith that you're there for him no matter what. Even if he's in trouble, you're there. Even if he's okay, you're there. You have to be there at all costs. My last point before I open the session for question answers is that there is no book to learn child psychology. Remember that. There's no book to learn parenting. There's no book to learn child upbringing. You learn on the job. You learn when you work with children. There is no perfect child. Remember that. Children are going to make mistakes. Remember, there are no perfect parents also. You're going to make mistakes. The only thing that you have is a large number of perfect moments along the way. So you'll have some good moments, which you will remember, which you will cherish. You will not have perfect parents. You will not have perfect children. Never. We all have some defects. which we have to accept. At the end of it, what matters is how much you lived, how much you laughed, and how much you loved. So do that as a parent. And I think that would be what I would think child psychology is. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Any questions from anyone? Please raise your hands and you can unmute and ask. Thank you so much, sir. Honestly, it was an eye-opening session for all of us. It was truly, truly enlightening, and there were so many myths and frequently asked questions in our mind, which got clear today. It was really beautiful. Anybody with questions, we'll just go ahead with that.
Yes, I do have a question, Shifali here.
Yeah, Shifali,
Yeah.
could you please keep your camera on? It would be great.
Sure, sure. Yes, yes. Good evening, Dr. D'Souza. Thank you so much for this lovely talk. So I'm a parent to a 10-year-old boy. So I
Okay.
just wanted to ask you, like you talked about children being introvert and they're not talking. Now, what if my problem is exactly opposite? My son is like, he's very, very outgoing, very, very outgoing. He loves to be the center of attraction everywhere. And sometimes what happens is he does weird things. You know, when people are not paying attention or people are talking, so he'll maybe make some different noises, or you know, he'll do something very weird, sometimes something very silly, to so that people, you know, look at him and you know then talk to him and all that. So without being very harsh or without being without quilling his, because I like it that he's extrovert and he talks to people. I don't want to quill that or I don't want to kill that quality of his. But how can I make him understand that he sometimes he doesn't know how to step back, and sometimes he doesn't know that there are other
I
people in
think
the
I
group
think
who also.
I think, you know, don't do anything. This is my thinking. You know, because he's probably, I mean, my simple thing is he doing anything overtly embarrassing that makes you upset by his being extrovert?
Sometimes yes,
Okay.
sometimes yes.
So I feel when that happens, you need to sit him down later and tell him that, you know, while I appreciate that, you know, you love the attention and I appreciate that you love the fact that people look at you when you do this. This is something that I feel is wrong because you shouldn't be, you know, doing this in this manner. We have no problem with you being extrovert and talking and whatever, but going overboard to gain attention at times is something which we wouldn't want you to do. And explain to him why it's wrong. Don't sit him down immediately the moment you reach home, you know, from the maybe a day or two later when he's in a better mood. You know, you can talk to him and tell him you think about this and get back to me in a day if you want. You know, say we're not complaining, we're not fighting. You think about it yourself and give me your opinion, what you feel. You know, have these discussions with him frequently and you'll find he'll change, he'll mold. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Doctor, I have a question. I actually
Yeah.
have two questions
Okay.
related to this. Something which I've seen since my childhood is there are couples who don't have any compatibility at all. Okay. And they just fight, no physical compatibility, no psychological, no emotional connect. But then they keep staying together for the sake of their kids, just because the
Correct.
kids will suffer. And there have been times when the kids actually suffer more because they see their parents are not so connected. There is a problem, there is unhappy toxic relationships around. So should the decision be based on only what the children should suffer and not get divorced, or they should stay together for the children's sake, or they should separate themselves? So what is the ideal situation?
Okay. So here I think, you know, I go with it. What does a parent want? Does the parent want her or his personal freedom, happiness more, or puts the child ahead? Now, I know a number of people who would sacrifice themselves for their child, but it's very important that you also have a right to be happy the way you are. So you can't obviously pour from an empty cup, I always say. So, you have to be happy yourself. Only then you can probably give happiness to your child. So I think sit the children down if they are old enough, talk to them, tell them this is what is happening. And, if in the event that mom and dad want to stay separately, what do you think you all feel about it? And would you be, just 1 minute. No. Abhi. So what do you feel about it? The thing
Sure.
is, if you feel, yes, we can be there for the children, yet be separate, then do it. The children should not be squashed, grinded in your separation. It's something which is very important. And I think parents in India are not so mature enough to think, in that way. There are very few parents who can sit and think, okay, yes, see, we don't get along, but we have 2 kids. So let's separate. But I'm here for the kids, you're here for the kids. We are there to look after each other as friends, even after this separation. But not many parents are, obviously, people are going to think in that manner, and society hasn't progressed, sadly, that far enough. So if the parents are mature enough, then we look at an option of separation. But if the parents aren't mature enough, then I know a number of people who live for the sake of the children. They lead parallel lives, they lead independent lives, they have their own companions and their relationships outside the marriage, multiple things that happen. So I think there's no yes or no answer here. You will have to look at each case individually and then take a call.
Right. Okay, sir. And another question was this social media phase. I see a lot of kids becoming more and more into the world where their parents are either forcing them or they themselves want to be very famous. So they are putting reels, they are putting trending videos, small videos, and I see a lot of children getting so much inclined towards becoming famous that they forget that what is right and wrong. There are vulgar videos by small kids or girls showing off their fashion sense.
Correct. So I think
Isn't
children have to be spoken to about responsible social media use. What you post, why you post, does what you post matter some years from now? Multiple things.
right?
And to be a little mindful about what you post is something which is very important. And I think if children are spoken to about this from an early age, they will learn to post responsibly. That's yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. It was indeed
Yeah,
great.
yes, ma'am, I
Shubhangi
want
has
to
a
speak.
question.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Sir, before 2-3 days only, I was thinking like that how to deal with my daughter. I have 12 years daughter. Okay. So in my mind, no, the question is that whatever work that I tell her, no. So some, in any work, no, she makes some mistake. So I thought ki whenever I was in 5th standard, no, for 12 years, no, so I had done very well. So what you have said, that is the children is the reflection to the parents only, right? So I was thinking like that, ki whatever work I'm telling her, no, so every time in the work she is making some kind of little mistake. So how would means deal with these things like?
See, I think children make mistakes. It's very normal. We have to accept that not every child might always do everything right. I mean, we also don't realize that, probably the reason why you were very perfect and you never made mistakes is because maybe, you had parents who are very particular and very strict, about things to make sure that, you never went wrong. But you can't be that strict and particular today. We have to be a little more lenient. Today's generation is different. So it's okay. Let her make mistakes as long as she rectifies them, learns about them. That's what's more important.
Okay, thank you.
Arya has raised hands and Garima too. So Arya, yes.
नमस्ते सर, मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है।
नमस्ते, बोलिए।
अभी देखिए सर, मेरा 2 बच्चे, एक तो 17 इयर्स की गर्ल है और एक 12 इयर्स का बॉय है। ओके,
बच्चा नहीं, वो फिर बड़े हो गए। हाँ,
बड़े हो गए। नहीं सर, अभी वो लोग ना आफ्टर कोविड के बाद बाहर जाने को थोड़ा हेजिटेट करते सर, किसी से मिलने को। कहाँ पर भी जाएंगे बोले तो नहीं अम्मा आप जाओ, मैं घर में रहूंगा, आप जाओ, आप मिलो, मैं नहीं जाऊंगा, ऐसे बोलते सर। उन लोगों को कैसे अभी, मतलब 2 ईयर से इधर थे, अब कैसे बाहर उनको करेंगे? स्लोली
अभी स्कूल कॉलेज धीरे धीरे खुल रहा है। जब खुलेगा, जाएंगे, मिलेंगे, धीरे धीरे होगा। पहले कैसे घर में रहने को प्रॉब्लम होता था, अभी बाहर जाने को प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है। तो धीरे धीरे एडजस्ट हो जाएंगे लोग। मुझे भी बाहर जाने को कंटाल आता है कोविड के बाद, बट अभी क्या है कि जाना पड़ता है काम के लिए। तो अभी क्या है, घर पे रहने की आदत हो गई है। अभी क्या है ना, हमको धीरे धीरे वापस निकलने का, पूरा दिन बाहर रहने का आदत डालना पड़ेगा। तो अभी धीरे धीरे हम आदत डालेंगे।
सर भाई भाई सर, और एक सर, अभी घर पे रह के ना थोड़ा सा अभी गेम के उसमें थोड़ा सा ज्यादा ये हो गए, डिजिट में थोड़ा सा हो
बराबर।
गए उनसे, मतलब बुक्स अभी थोड़ा ये दे रहे, उनके साथ मैं भी पढ़ रही हूँ, फिर भी और कुछ है सर, और कुछ कर सकती हूँ उनके लिए, मतलब उससे थोड़ा
देखिए
दूर
ऐसा है ना कि मैं ये कहता हूँ कि हर घर में थोड़ा सा रूल्स बना के हम रखते हैं। जरूरी नहीं है कि रूल्स फॉलो होंगे। तो एक ऐसा रूल बनाइए कि 10 साढ़े 10 के बाद ज्यादा गैजेट यूज नहीं होगा। दिन में कुछ घंटों के लिए वाईफाई बंद होगा, सबके लिए, आपके लिए भी, उनके लिए भी, ताकि क्या है, कोई भी नेट पे नहीं रहे। थोड़ी नेचुरल चीजें होगी कि हम टेरेस पे जाएंगे, थोड़ा वॉक लेंगे, कंपाउंड में जाएंगे, थोड़ा भाजी खरीद के आएंगे, मतलब थोड़ा उनको बोलो कि प्रकृति से भी थोड़ा जुड़े, ये बहुत जरूरी है। तो ये सब चीजें हम अगर करते हैं और पूरी फैमिली मिल के करते हैं तो ऑटोमेटिकली प्रभाव पड़ता है। लेकिन अगर आप बोलोगे नहीं नहीं मेरे को ऑफिस के लिए फोन चाहिए, लेकिन आप फोन पे नहीं रहोगे, तो ऑब्वियसली वो लोग नहीं मानने वाले। तो ये मैं समझता हूँ कि कुछ कठिनाइयां हैं कि कोविड के कारण आ गई है हमारे पास, बट इससे भी जूझने का हमारे पास रास्ता है कि हम थोड़ा सा, हमको डिजिटली अपने आप को, क्या कहते हैं, मैं बोलते हैं हिंदी में, डिजिटल उपवास हमको रखना पड़ेगा, इन सब चीजों से। तो ये जरूरी है कि हमको थोड़ा रखना पड़ेगा।
मतलब छोटे बच्चे हैं तो थोड़ा अच्छी तरह से बात करके कर सकते हैं सर, अभी थोड़ा बड़े हो गए ना, सो
तो वही मैंने आपको बोला, देखो 18 साल 17 साल उम्र में आप ज्यादा उनको कुछ नहीं बोल पाओगे। ये उम्र भी ऐसा है कि वो एडल्ट भी है, नई भी है, बीच में है, तो थोड़ा सा मुश्किल हो जाता है। तो अभी उसमें ज्यादा आप कुछ कर नहीं सकते, बस यही कीजिए कि वो गलत चीज नहीं कर रहे हो ऑनलाइन, वो ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है। बाकी उनको फिजिकली रोकना मना करना तो मुश्किल है।
करेक्ट सर, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू।
हाँ,
Garima had a question too. Garima, you can go ahead.
Thank you,
yes,
sir. So I want to ask, there is a friend of mine and he faced a lot of child abuse. मतलब his parents used to hit him. So right now his condition, I feel sometimes मतलब बहुत easily उसका breakdown हो जाता है कि कोई भी situation आती है, कुछ भी आ जाता है, कुछ 10-15 days में या monthly उसका एक बारी breakdown हो जाता है। तो ऐसे में उसको क्या बोलना चाहिए कि मतलब वो अपने पेरेंट्स
नहीं
से
तो
कैसे नाराज रहता है, काइंड ऑफ।
नहीं तो देखिए ऐसा है ना कि आपने जैसे बताया कि उसके साथ अगर कोई भी प्रकार का शोषण हुआ है बचपन में, तो उसके साइकोलॉजिकल इफेक्ट्स उस तो रहेंगे। तो अगर उसको अभी भी, आपने जैसे बोला, ब्रेक डाउन हो जाता है, तो हो सकता है उसको कोई मानसिक तकलीफ या तनाव है। तो मैं चाहूंगा कि पहले वो कोई काउंसलर को मिले। अगर वो डायरेक्टली साइकाइट्रिस्ट को मिलने से थोड़ा झिझक होगा या डर होगा या हिचकिचाहट होगी, तो पहले काउंसलर को मिले, काउंसलर से बात करे। अगर काउंसलर को लगता है कि उसकी बीमारी उतनी ही तकलीफदायक है कि डॉक्टर से भी मिलना जरूरी है, तो काउंसलर सजेस्ट करेगी। अगर नहीं तो फिर कम से कम काउंसलिंग चालू करे कि जो उसके भूतकाल में हुआ है उससे उभर के वो बाहर आए। ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें हैं। तो थोड़ा सा उसको हेल्प लेना जरूरी है इसमें। आप एक प्रोफेशनल नहीं हो जो उनको काउंसिल कर सकते हो, और आप उनके दोस्त हो, आप उनको सपोर्ट कर सकते हो, उनको राय दे सकते हो, लेकिन ये जरूरी है कि उनको हेल्प लेना खुद पड़ेगा। और उनकी पर्सनल चीजें हैं, उनको काउंसलर से बात करनी होगी, और उसको कैसे छोड़ के आगे बढ़ना है ये सीखना होगा। और ये आसान नहीं है, इसमें समय काफी लगेगा। तो वो अभी कोशिश करेंगे तो 1 1.5 2 साल में उनको फर्क पड़ेगा।
Okay, thank you, sir.
Any other questions? I don't see any raised hands. Yeah, Gargi. Yes, Gargi.
Very good evening. Sir, I would like to know, or you can throw some light on homeschooling kids or unschooling kids these days. Matlab, we as a parent, we do not send children to school, but they are either attending some classes or something and learning majorly at home, day-to-day life skills and activities, but they do not actually per se attend a school and give exams directly in the 10th or so. So could you please throw some light? Does that really help the child? Because many a times it happens that they do not follow any particular curriculum. Few do follow, but many do not. And they just learn gradually on over their interest and whatever they want to explore. So
Okay.
can you share any experience of
Okay.
this?
So I believe that unschooling works when you have very intelligent children who have diverse interests and they learn different things and they are interested to learn. Okay. Exams, I agree with you, may or may not really matter. The advantage of a curriculum is that you learn little about everything. Though, of course, many subjects are left out of the curriculum, which I totally agree. But at least there's a basic structure to the education, which is sort of given. In unschooling, you structure it based on what the child likes and doesn't like, but it can happen that you leave out some important aspects that the child needs to learn. Now, my personal take is that unschooling was something that was never there when I was in school. It's a trend that has come up now. So we all went to the same grind. Some did SSC, some did ICSE, some did CBSE. Those were the only three boards which were available. IB and all weren't there at all. So the thing is, so I don't think we've done bad in life. So I think it's not that, I mean, unschooling is something which is a new trend, but you know, as a parent, you'll have to be very committed to see that they learn diverse things. Just because a child says I want to do art, he can't only do art and say, okay, I'm doing unschooling. No, he'll have to learn diverse things. You'll have to make sure that he learns. So okay, in a school I may learn English, Hindi, Marathi. In unschooling I may learn English, Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, French, Spanish. Yes, then unschooling is worth it. But if I leave out the basics, then unschooling isn't worth it. So in schooling I will learn maths in a particular way. In unschooling I learn maths, I learn abacus, I learn something else, I learn different things which I won't learn in school, and I learn robotics. Yes, then unschooling is worth it. So your planning even for unschooling has to be very good. You need to have a good team that works with you and teaches you and explains to you, though you may not send the child to a formal school. Plus meeting other children, sharing, caring, learning to be in a class, learning to be in a group is also very important for child development. So I think it's a personal choice that many parents make, but I always feel that the structure of a school is very important. I mean, even today I think all of us have very fond school memories, all of us have very fond college memories. So we can't let that structural aspect of education to go. This is my personal view. I'm not saying unschooling is bad. It's a personal take that you have made as a parent, which is good. Or whoever, I mean, you're asking me in general, whoever makes it is good, but it has to be structured within the unstructured. That's very important.
And sir, one more question. Sir, many a times it happens, like it's been said, children from a very young age, they learn much faster. So trying to give them many things when they are very young, even before like 5 or 6 years of age. So like these days there are programs like mother toddler programs, and children start going to play school and classes also very early, even before when they are 2 or so. So, sir, do you really advise on that?
Well, I personally have never believed so much that play schools matter. I believe nursery and preschools definitely matter. Yes, I do believe social interaction is important for small children, but I don't think education in a formal way matters below the age of 2. Yes, interaction between other children is important, and I think school starts at 3.5 or 4, whatever age it starts. With regard to doing too many things, no, I feel your child should do a few things which he enjoys. That is more important. It shouldn't happen that he does a number of things and doesn't enjoy half of them.
Thank you, sir. Aarti, you wanted to ask? Yes.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I had a question with respect to teenagers. In terms of how important is it for them to learn the life skills for them to take responsibility at a certain age? Is that something which parents should guide them, or wait for the right time until they're mature enough to actually show indications that
you can start talking to them about it, but generally you will not find your children mature till they are 20 or 25. It doesn't usually happen. And as a parent, you will never find your child ever maturing. You'll always think he's your baby and he's not maturing. That's how we are as Indian parents. We're always that way. So even, I mean, at any age, your kid is your kid. So it's that way. But yes, you can talk to them about it, start it in a small way, but don't expect that they're going to mature till they're 20, 25. It's going to take some time.
So how do you actually guide them? What kind of careers is it advisable for their personality, and is that a road that they should figure out on their own?
I think they should figure out on their own. I personally don't believe in career testing, and I don't believe in, I believe give them the choices, let them try out, let them experiment a bit. It's something which is, good. I mean, it's important that, even today we're in an era where so many people change careers. I mean, we've had bankers that become musicians, we've had engineers that suddenly change and do other things. So they still, it can happen. There's nothing wrong in that. I think, let them experiment a bit and try.
Can we have a last question from Shilpa? Shilpa, could you please switch on the camera? It will be great.
नमस्ते सर.
नमस्ते.
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन एक है, मेरे बेटे के बारे में. वो 11 साल मतलब 10 साल कंप्लीट हो गए, 11 स्टार्ट हुआ है. तो मतलब उसका एक प्रॉब्लम है, अभी कोविड की वजह से पता नहीं है. पहले स्कूल में जो था नोट डाउन सारे नोट्स करता था, पर जब से ऑनलाइन स्टडी हो गया है लेजीनेस बढ़ गया है. एक तो हम दो चीजों से कोई भी चीज करते, एक तो केयरिंग से या इंटरेस्ट से. तो उसको तो मैंने देखा है कि राइटिंग में इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, पर नोट्स तो हर दिन कंप्लीट करना पड़ेगा. मतलब नोट्स कंप्लीट करेगा तो आगे स्टडी करेगा. वो ना नोट डाउन करता ही नहीं, कितना भी बोलो. एक बार तो मैंने टीचर को फोन करके भी बताया कि बेटा डर से तो करेगा, कि मतलब डर होगा तो चलो टीचर डांटेगी, करना है. वो भी डर निकल गया. ऐसे मैं क्या करूँ इसके लिए, वही मेरा बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है.
देखिए, अभी स्कूल शुरू होगा, सब बच्चों को जाना पड़ेगा, स्कूल में लिखना पड़ेगा, तो ऑटोमेटिकली होगा. थोड़ा क्या है ना कि ऑनलाइन के कारण लोगों को क्लासरूम और डिजिटल नोट्स की थोड़ी आदत हो गई है, इसलिए लिखते नहीं है. धीरे धीरे वो सब आ जाएगी वापस. लिखना तो पड़ेगा. मेरा तो ये मानना है कि कुछ सालों में लोग हैंड राइटिंग भी नहीं होगा स्कूल में, सब डिजिटल हो जाएगा. तो हैंड राइटिंग विल बी अ डाइंग आर्ट प्रोबेबली, हो सकता है कि. बट धीरे धीरे जो है सब कुछ डिजिटली हो रहा है, तो अभी उसमें भी हम कुछ कर नहीं सकते. एग्जाम भी टाइप करते हैं बच्चे लोग या क्लिक करते हैं, मतलब लिखना थोड़ा कम हो गया है. हमारे जमाने में टीचर्स थे जो 3-3 बार 5-5 बार लिखाते थे. आजकल वो सब नहीं होता है, तो वो थोड़ा सा चेंजेस आ गए हैं लाइफ में.
तो मैंने उसमें वो नोटिस किया है कि इसको केयर भी नहीं है सर. एक तो दो चीजों से करते, केयर से कि मतलब कोई अगर स्कॉलर बच्चा है तो वो सोचता है कि मैं स्कूल अपनी क्लास में टॉप करूं, मेरा राइटिंग अच्छा हो, टीचर मुझे अच्छा बोले, गुड बोले, इसीलिए करता है. और सेकंड होता है कि डर से करता है कि अगर मैं कंप्लीट नहीं करूंगा तो टीचर मुझे डांटेगी, सबके सामने कुछ बोलेगी, तो वो डर से करता है. तो ये सारा डर निकल गया. इसके लिए क्या करूं कि वो केयर करे कि मेरा
देखो,
वर्क
टीचर स्क्रीन से बाहर आके कुछ नहीं कर सकती है आज के डेट में.
तो
इसलिए वो डर नहीं है. अभी स्कूल जाएंगे, टीचर सामने खड़ी होगी तो डर वापस आएगा.
तो बिल्कुल भी डर नहीं है. मतलब उसको लगता है हाँ कर दिया मम्मा ने फोन, करने दो, कुछ नहीं, मैं थक गई हूँ अभी, मैंने छोड़ दिया बोलना, भैया आपको करना है करिए.
देखो, आजकल आपको टीचर्स भी पुराने जमाने जैसे नहीं मिलेंगे कि आप फोन करो तो वो पर्सनल इंटरेस्ट लेके बच्चे को देखे. तो वो आप फोन करोगे तो हाँ बोलेंगे, फिर वो ऐसा ही होगा. तो उससे अच्छा है कि मतलब आप ही देखो थोड़ा, तो ऑटोमेटिकली वही होगा. अभी धीरे धीरे अभी स्कूल खुलेगी तो चीजें ठीक होगी.
यस सर, यही क्वेश्चन था. थैंक यू सर.
Thank you so much for everybody to ask such questions. I think we all could reverberate and enjoy those questions because सबके चेहरे पे smile थी. हाँ, मेरा बच्चा भी ऐसे ही करता है कुछ. So thank you so much, sir, for answering all the questions so well and so patiently. I have a few announcements and I'm very excited to announce them from the behalf of AYG Academy. As a part of AYG, we have few upcoming courses on prenatal, postnatal and Garb Sanskar. From 13 November, it is the weekend batch. From 15 November, we have the weekday batch. So you could register at www.drnutan.com. We all know this website. Also note that just like Dr. Avinash, how he gave answers to all these questions, we have counseling and consulting for any issues, whether physical, mental, any koshas, any physical aspects, from the starting of conception, preconception, pregnancy, postnatal, to even when the children grow up. So we have a network of specialists who can actually be consulted through our website again, www.drnutan.com. So you can take an appointment and get the solutions. Next thing that's very important is that we are getting a lot of requests from people that please send us the recording of individual Chaturmas each day programs, which is very difficult in terms of administration. So we will have to provide you the whole consolidated for all the 4 days. It will be provided on our website, and it will be charged at a very nominal cost, which we have to incur for getting all the admin work done. So please consider that, and you may get the recording because these are so valuable and knowledge is priceless. Also, we are providing feedback forms, and we all know that feedbacks are the easiest ways to express our gratitude. So do not miss on filling those and help us improve better in our services we are providing to all of you. Also, tomorrow's Chaturmas program, please note the topic is parenting child in the womb, and very important, note the timings. It is from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. by a very renowned Dr. Mona Gujral. Well, sir, it's time to say thank you to you. On behalf of all of us, we are really grateful to you for coming today. And we are all beneficiaries of today's remarkable talk, an impeccable way of telling us that gentle parenting is the trend. And so much for this controversial topic and giving so much clarity, that hard parenting is not going to work. We have to appreciate the way our children are, and so much to take away from today's talk. So we really, really appreciate the way you explained to us in simple words. We are definitely going to get back to you in case of any such issues we are facing in parenting. So thank you so much. And I would now like to hand over to Dr. Nutan for anything that she wants to add.
I just wanted to offer my gratitude to all the participants present here, and my special thank you goes to, of course, our speaker, Dr. Avinash D'Souza, who have always been supporting, and there we were connected on and off for some events or some conference or some seminars. Now, due to this COVID and all that, we haven't met offline, but soon I would like to meet you, sir, and also would like to even forward some cases which comes to me as a counselor, because I do counseling online, and there are many mothers, would-be mothers, and after that also there are many girls, women who are going through some tough patches, and I have already recommended your phone number and contact. So we will be in touch. Thank you so much, sir. Please keep supporting AYG Academy. Anything you would like to say?
No, nothing. I mean, you all are doing a great job. Just write some good things about me in the feedback. That's
that participant would definitely, they will write it, because you made wonderful this session. Thank you so much. So over to you, Ekta. Once again, thank you for your beautiful hosting this event and presenting AYG Academy. We'll conclude with the chanting as our tradition.
Yes, ma'am. And before that, we'll just take a pic together. So if everybody could switch on their cameras, it'll be great.
Sir is here, or sir? Arey, sir hi chale gaye. Sir ko laga khatam. Okay. Fine. We will have one.
I took a lot of pics anyway in between the session. So, all right. Okay. Everybody could switch on the cameras. I hope you all enjoyed the session. We'll have a wonderful session again, and I'm hoping to see all of you tomorrow again. I'm sure Dr. Nutan is also expecting all of us. So let's smile. 1, 2, 3, and say cheese. Great. Thank you so much. We will just end it with chanting Om Shanti. So let us all sit straight. Roll the shoulders, relax the shoulders and the jawline. Give a gentle, beautiful smile for the ending of the session. Inhale and exhale. Inhale deeply. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bow down in gratitude to all the knowledge, to all the universe, and ma'am, of course, for this whole scenario and event. Rub the palms and place it over the eyes to open and relax. Thank you so much once again, everyone.
Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you all.
Thank you so much.